Hello, welcome to the Pro-Am Formula Racing series. We are at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain. If you did just join us on the previous stream just a moment ago, we do apologise as there had to be a lobby restart. And whilst I was trying to get into the lobby, it was taking some time for me to do so, so I had to restart the game, which I have done. And finally we're in the lobby, and finally we're ready to go for some qualifying action. One-shot qualifying it is, followed by a 17-lap Spanish Grand Prix. So hopefully everyone will be told about not to ready up too early. It was a wet qualifying that we saw in the previous stream. So hopefully let's maybe see if it's going to be a dry qualifying or a wet qualifying again. It's a dry qualifying this time, so better conditions for the drivers. Hopefully no one's going to ready up too early this time. And the countdown seems to have begun. Hopefully that wasn't too early that one of the drivers has just done. Find out from the host of the lobby whether it was too early or not. Otherwise, qualifying is about to begin. So Vengeance, we ride on board, the winner of last week. Into turn one he comes. No problem through that. Into turn three, or turn four I should say. This is turn five. Into turn 9, Vengeance comes. No problem through there, doesn't take too much curb. The rear wing opens. Luke seems to have crashed out on his lap. Into turn 13, and then the chicane of 14 and 15. And the smooth right-hander of 16 to close the lap. Vengeance over the line, and he will start the sprint race of Spain on pole position. Half a second clear of Miller in second. I'll have to see who's lined up where. So Vengeance on pole ahead of Miller. Kilmore is third ahead of Adam. Then we've got Primetime Raz and John on row 3. Then it's Fletch and Gaiman on the 4th row. King and Anthro making up the 5th row of the grid. It's Quinton and Vintage. Toby Tiger and Suggested were the last of those to have set a time. Cromad, Sweaty Sega, Smith, JB, Rishi and Luke round off the grid for the start of the race. So the race will begin in a few moments' time. So we'll be back in a moment. Here we are then for a 17-lap race here in Barcelona. Drivers have already been warned about readying up too early, so they are going to wait until he says that he is good to go. So the host of the lobby has given the all clear, so should go to a formation that, and then the race will begin. Vengeance looking to make it 2 wins from 2 from pole. Of course, Adam finished second in Bahrain, with Miller completing the podium. Hopefully all 20 drivers will get through without any mayhem at all. So let's see who's starting on what. We are expecting pit stops in this short race. And it's pretty much 50-50 at the moment, with Raz, Fletch, Gaiman, Vintage, Toby Tiger, Cromad, Smith and Luke all starting on the mediums. The others are all beginning the race on the soft compound. So should be in for an interesting start here. So Vengeance leading the field round. I'm surprised he's not deciding to put some heat into his tyres actually. Well, Adam's definitely putting some heat into his tyres, as is Raz. Gaiman most certainly is, as is the Alpine of King. So the drivers returning to the grid now. They're expecting pit stops at around lap 6 to 8 for those starting on the soft compound, and I would think it'll be lap 10 to 12 for those who are starting on the mediums. There's Luke taking up the last spot on the grid. And then they wait for those 5 red lights to come on any moment now. Here we go then. The 5 red lights come on. When they go out, we'll be racing here in Barcelona. It's lights out, and away we go. Vengeance got the better launch than the Haas of Miller behind, and it's allowed the Alpine of Kilmore to get up into second place as he uses the toe to go into turn 1 behind Vengeance. But it's Vengeance who leads by quite a way so far. It's Kilmore in second place ahead of Miller and Adam, with Raz, John, Fletch and Anthro running out your top 8 so far. Someone has had a spin. That'll be Smith, who's gone round to the back of the field. Vengeance continues to lead, and we've got drivers hopping over the runoff area. There's Adam, goes off into the gravel. He's got damage to his front wing as well. That'll be him into the pits very shortly as well. So he's already on the back foot and running wide again. So that's him falling down the order like he did so in Bahrain last week. So Vengeance out in front, and it's Kilmore and Mellor next behind, followed by Raz and John. And then we've got Gaiman all over the back of Anthro in the fight for 7th place, but there's also the McLaren in there of Quinton, who tries to barge his way through there, but couldn't quite make it work, and now Toby Tiger going around the outside there. Contact made, but Toby Tiger spins. Oh, he hits the outside. Oh, there's a collision. Oh, that's nasty there, and 2 cars are out of it. King and Rishi have come together, and we have our first safety car of the race. Oh, it all started with Toby Tiger when he tapped Quinton on the inside at turn 12 there, and just basically caused a traffic jam. And Quinton gets a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's in for a new nose. Oh, and someone's lost their front wing in there. Who's that that's just lost it? Is that the Alfa Romeo of Adam? I think it is, you know. And Adam's out of it. So Adam becomes the 3rd retirement already. Vintage in. He had to be stopping behind his teammate before his crew can service him. But at least he can catch up to the back of the field. And now those who have just pitted, I'm just thinking, who has gone onto the hard tyre? Well, Quinton, JB and Vintage have all gone onto the hard tyre, as suggested gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Needless, that, really, to be honest with you. I don't understand why drivers get penalised under the safety car. And he's been penalised again. What is suggested doing? What is he doing? So he has to serve 2 drive-through penalties after the safety car's gone back in. He can't take them under it. And JB's been penalised for exceeding track limits now. He's just deliberately gone into the pit lane far too quickly there. Toby Tiger right behind. And a new front wing is ready for Toby. JB goes through. Gets ahead of suggested. Toby gets out in front of the Ferrari of Sweaty Saga. And going on the soft compound, he will need to be pitting again before this race is over. So Mellor's got in front of... Where's Vengeance gone? Vengeance is down in 9th place. Has he come into the pits for a change of tyres? Yes, he has. As has Kilmore. So Vengeance and Kilmore have completed their mandatory pit stops now. So they can go to the end. And with the safety car, I think he's going to stay out there for at least another lap. That'll favour... Oh, and Vintage loses it! He's lost his front wing as well, and that's him back into the pit lane. I think the safety car's in at the end of this lap, actually, so... Mellor will dictate the pace, and he'll go when he is ready to do so. And he's ready now, and makes a good restart there. He needs to build a huge enough gap before he comes in for his pit stop. Back underway then at the beginning of lap 4. Someone has had a moment on the exit of the last turn. We're underway now anyway. As Toby Tiger goes toe-to-toe with Suggested, who will need to be pitting for his drive-through, or 2 drive-throughs. He'll have to take one at the end of the next lap, actually. And Sweaty Sacker's gone into the barrier. Vintage crashes into the pit wall there. I think with all the debris, we may need another safety car, to be quite honest with you. So Mellor leads ahead of Raz, and there's John and Fletch, and through Gaming. Lucas in 7th place now after starting from the back of the grid. Just looking to see who's gained what from their starting positions. So Luke is not pitted, so that'll explain why he's up as high as he is right now. And someone has gone off. Is that the Ferrari? It's Raz from second place. He's lost out there to the Mercedes. He's wrecked his front wing as well. So both Ferraris in trouble. Hits the bollard on the way through. Oh, he's out of it. Oh, he's gone in too quickly there. And Raz is out of the race. And I think we're going to need another safety car with where he's positioned there. Yes, we do. Another safety car has been deployed. Suggested to come into the pit lane, but that won't be to serve his drive-through penalty. To be honest, he should have served the first of it when the safety car came back in. So he's going to lose out horribly in all this. And Swisty coming into the pits there. So Saga boxes in for his new nose. So 4 drivers are out of the race so far. I wonder if Mellor will be considering pitting in at the end of this lap. Definitely those on the soft compound will be looking to pit in as Mellor looks to just make sure he sticks to the delta. There is a delta time that the drivers have to adhere to until they catch up to the safety car. And Suggested has been disqualified for receiving multiple penalties, not taking his drive-through penalty, so his race has come to a close. John also in. Fletch stays out, Anthro is in. And Toby's lost his front wing. Got to be careful, just slow down, Toby. Slow down. Here's JB, who's serving some of his time penalty actually, as is Toby. The new front wing goes on. I think Vintage has already been in for a new nose, so he can carry on his way. So Fletch leads behind the safety car. Now the only drivers who have not pit in this race now are Fletch, Gaiman, Luke and Chromad. And all of them are on the medium compound. So I have to say at this moment of time, Vengeance is the favourite to win this race now. Now if the safety car doesn't come in, will Fletch decide to pit in at the end of this lap? And the safety car is going to stay out for one more lap because the lights on the top of the vehicle itself are still flashing. So Sega and Vintage are looking to catch up to the rest of the field. Now Fletcher's got to be careful not to exceed 10 car lengths behind the safety car, otherwise he will be penalised. Only one driver has got a penalty at the moment, that's Quinton. 5 seconds it is for speeding in the pit lane earlier on. So that'll go to his time at the end of the race, unless he does pit in again. Vintage just caught up to the back of the field now, so he's still got a chance of salvaging some points from this race. 15 drivers still running. Raz is out of the race, as are Adam, King, Rishi and Suggested. Now Fletch backs the field up. The safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. Well, 10 laps remaining here. Hopefully we will not get another safety car before the end of this race. We could do with some track action, to be honest with you. So Fletch will lead the field for the start of lap 8. And there he goes. So Fletch leads on the restart, trying to get more temperature into his tyres. You can see Vengeance looking to get in front of Gaming. There's Kilmore fighting it out with Quinton over 6th place. He's got Cromad in front, who is yet to make a pit stop in this one. Kilmore goes to the inside. Can't quite make the move stick. There's Smith getting in front of Mellor for 8th place. Mellor going backwards at the moment, or he's trying to make his way through. Can't quite do it there. And Toby running wide there on the exit of turn 8. Kilmore trying to get through on Quinton this time, and Cromad. Oh, there's contact! And Smith running wide at turn 10 as well. This is all kicking off here. And multiple drivers getting involved. Toby goes round again in the Williams. And Vengeance behind Gaming now. Now remember, Fletch, Gaming, Luke and Cromad have all yet to make a pit stop in this one. Probably wait for another safety car before they decide to jump into the pits for a set of these soft compound tyres. Toby's in the pits again for Williams. Now is he deciding to call it a day? I think he's only pitted for the soft tyres in this one, so he'll need to go onto a set of mediums or hards. But he's just been penalised for speeding in the pit lane. And Quinton dive into the inside there of Kilmore to go up into 6th place. And there's Miller behind, waiting to pounce. And someone's gone off in sector 2. It's JB in the AlphaTauri, and it's another safety car. So JB's exit has contributed to the 3rd safety car of this race, and we're only on lap 9. Now, will the leaders decide to pit in? I think they're going to have to be quite honest with you. I don't think they've got a choice. Now, Gaming decides to come in. He's got to be careful not to back the field up too much. Vengeance goes through into the lead. Luke gets through. Now, the car was ghosted there by Gaming, which means that Luke was able to get past because Gaming was going very, very slow behind, and to be honest, he's going to be held up by his teammate anyway, so Gaming's going to lose out in all this. Soft tyres go on, and out he goes. So Vengeance leads. Quinton 2nd, Kilmore 3rd, ahead of Miller, Smith, Anthro, Sager, Vintage now 8th, John 9th, Fletch rejoins in 10th place, Lucas in 11th, Cromad 12th, Gaming 13th, and Toby, who's just pitted, is in 14th place, but at least he can catch up to the field again. So 14 runners remain in this one. And Tobin may be thinking, you know, the safety car stays out with one more lap, I may as well come in and get a set of soft tyres on. So Quinton is carrying a time penalty at the moment. He's in second. I'll still say that Vengeance is the favourite to win this one. But keep an eye out on the likes of Luke, Chromad and Gaiman on the soft compound tyres. Fletcher's into the pits again, because he's just... I think he was given hard tyres and he wants softs. There he goes. He's lost a few positions because of it. He's down to 14th place. So Vengeance leads. On course, making it 2 wins out of 2. So who will come out on top in this one? Oh, and Vengeance nearly going past the safety car there. Had he got past it, he would have been in trouble. And we've got cars spinning around. Sagwin Vintage have spun round under the safety car. What on earth has happened there? And Vintage gets let back through there by Fletch. I think Fletch would have been penalised had he not let them back through. But the safety car is now in this lap. And I'm hoping we do not get any more carnage between now and the checker flag. I have to say, standards in this race have not been great at all, if I'm honest with you. So Vengeance leads on the restart. Kilmore looking to get in front, and Mellor also waiting to pounce. But we're back on the green then for the final 6 laps of this Spanish Grand Prix in the Pro-Am Formula Racing. Mellor diving to the inside there of the Alpine of Kilmore to go up into 3rd place. So a nice move there from the Haas driver. And through, battling it out with his teammate Smith. And Luke looking to make his way through the field as well. Diving to the outside there as John nearly running into the back of the Mercedes, and that'll open the door for Luke to get through here. And he does get through. Nice move there. Luke is on fire on the restart so far. Can he make his way through past the Mercedes before the end? He's got a good chance of doing so. And Gaiman also get in front of Cronmad. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart. Luke gets ahead of John for 7th position. John was fighting back at him, actually. And the Williams of Toby getting through on Cronmad. Oh, he's been spun round by Cronmad. So Toby's race goes from bad to worse. He's spun round yet again. And Kilmore trying to get in front of Mellor again in the fight for the final podium spot. Going to the outside. Now has Mellor got a problem? He's got front wing damage. So Mellor's got front wing damage on the Haas, and that'll be him coming into the pits very, very shortly. He's got to be careful. He's got his teammate Luke, who's now behind him. Lets him through wisely. So Mellor's chances of a points finish have gone very much out of the window now. So Vengeance still out in front. And that mistake from Miller has allowed Smith and Anthro to go up to 4th and 5th. Luke is now 6th on the fresh soft compound tyres. Going in too deep there at turn 10. And Luke's just struggling to slow the car down. I don't know what it is. And John spins round in the Alfa Romeo. So car's continuing to spin round left, right and centre here. Gaming right behind Luke in the battle for 6th. Mellor's into the pits for a new front wing. He may decide to call it quits, to be quite honest with you. Unless we do get another safety car. And Gaming gets past Luke to go up into 6th position. And now Saga behind Vintage in the battle for 8th. Kilmore in 3rd place, ahead of Smith. And Luke gets back ahead of Gaiman, and someone else has spun. It's Saga. That's the 2nd time he's spun there now, this time during green flag conditions. Luckily, it was ghosted for John to get by. Smith behind Kilmore in the battle for 3rd place still. And someone else has gone round. Who's that gone round there? It's Luke this time. And Luke continues spinning round. And he keeps resetting the car as well. Not sure that's within the rules of the PAFR. So the stewards will want to be having a look at that. So 3 laps to go. Vengeance leads. Fletch getting ahead of his teammate. Gaming doesn't fight it out that much with him. As it stands with Quinton's time penalty, that is 5 seconds. He would drop to 4th place behind Smith. He's got a few laps to pull out enough of a margin. And Sweaty Saga's gone off again at turn 2. And rejoins. So Vengeance on course for victory now. Toby Tiger behind Chromad, who's in 9th position behind Vintage. And Chromad's gone round, I think. Yeah, he's gone off at turn 12. He's just lost the position to Toby. And Fletch with DRS will get in front of the Mercedes of Anthro to go up into 5th position. As we are now on the penultimate lap of this race. So Fletch is in 5th. Can Gaiman also get through? As you can see, the Mercedes has used up a lot of his ERS on the restart. There's Quinton doing a fine job. Given where he started 11th on the grid to get himself up to where he is. Smith also from 17th to 14th, 17th to 4th, I should say. The Vengeance is coming round now to start the final lap of this race. Quinton in 2nd as it stands with his penalty. He would just drop behind Kilmore, but it's very close to opening up that 5-second margin. Gaming now also on the back of Anthro. We should be able to get him here. And Toby Tiger gain a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Smith ducks into the pits. I don't know why he's done that, to be quite honest with you. He can't set the fastest up on the final lap because he's just ducked into the pits and it will only be his out lap. So I don't understand why he's done that, to be honest with you. Silly thing to be doing. He should have done it the lap before, if he was going for the fastest lap. So Vengeance on course to make it 2 wins out of 2 here. He won in Bahrain last week. Someone has had a moment in sector 2, but it's continued. So he's gone round again. Yeah, he's had another spin. And with his 8-second time penalty, he's going to lose a few places and fall out of the points. Luke gets ahead of him. Here's Vengeance. He's about to complete the last lap of this race. Round in turn 16, onto the pit straight. Crosses the line to win the second race of the season in the division sprint of the PAFR. Brilliant job from him. Quinton crosses the line in second place, and his gap is big enough for him to keep hold of that position. Kilmore will finish in third, Fletch in fourth, Gaiman in fifth. So good result for the Red Bull team. Anthro is sixth ahead of Vintage, and Luke. Chroma gets ahead of John on the last lap, and I think John's gone round actually, so there's been a few collisions there. Chroma crosses the line in ninth. Toby Tiger will drop behind Smith. John will get ahead of him as well, so Toby will be 12th at the end of that. Saga will be 13th. Miller, who's chasing him down all the time actually, in fact he'll get ahead of him because Saga's just spun. So Saga's miserable race ends with a spin before he crosses the line. But it's victory for Vengeance in Barcelona. Excellent job from him. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. There's Vengeance collecting his winner's trophy. And drivers celebrate on the podium. So your race result then here in Barcelona. Vengeance is the winner with Quinton in second place. Kilmore is third ahead of Fletch and Gaiman. Antho is in sixth ahead of Vintage. Luke is eighth after starting at the back of the grid. Chromad is ninth. Smith in 10th place for Mercedes. John is 11th, followed by Toby in 12th. Mella in 13th place ahead of Saga. The last of the finishers in 14th. JB crashed out, as did Raz, Adam, King, Rishi and Suggested also didn't make the checkered flag. As far as the championship is concerned, with Vengeance, I think he got the fastest up of the race in that. He did. So that's an extra point going his way. So he moves on to 52 points, the maximum score for him. With Adam and Mella not scoring. Smith managing only a 10th place finish. I'm just looking to see who else moves up. Kilmore, I think, moves up positions from 10 to 25. Which sees him go up quite a number of positions. So he's moved up to second place. So as far as I know, the lead that Vengeance has is very, very healthy. 27 points is the gap going into the next round of the championship. Just looking to see where they'll be racing next. Just pardon me one moment. I think it is Monaco, but I'll double check just to make sure. We are going to have some post-race interviews, so we'll speak to a few drivers and find out how they got on from their perspective during that race here in Barcelona. It was quite a manic one, to be quite honest. It's funny because I'm just trying to find the calendar on here, but it doesn't seem to be shown. How here we go. It's in Canada actually, so it'll be Canada, which I think is the normal one-shot qualifying and 25% race distance, like it has been for all races so far. So let's have a word then with a few drivers after that race in Barcelona then. Pardon me one moment.
I think you're going to have to restart the game. It's just, but you'll still be in the party.
Yeah. Right, so let's have a word with a few of our drivers then at the end of that chaotic Spanish race here in Barcelona. Let's speak to our fourth place man, AA Gaming. Fifth place man, AA Gaming, let's say. It was a much better performance than what it was in Bahrain last week. And given the nature of how this race has panned out, I think it was just a matter of survival of the fittest, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it had no flow to it at all, so I think it was messing with everyone's minds and rhythm. I think the third safety car helped me and Fletch out a lot because we started on mediums, and that first two safety cars really put us in a bit of a pickle. But yeah, I guess we just kept our head down and had a laugh and got to the end.
Yeah, and where did it all sort of start really with, because you started 8th on the grid for that one. How did you survive all the chaos then? Because there was quite a lot going on either in front of you or behind you, and did it just a matter of just be aware of what's around you before just allow them to have their own incident and not get involved in it?
I just made sure I didn't pull a Bottas. No, I think I was just in the right place at the right time. I had Fletch ahead of me at the start, so we sort of just planned turn one like stupid, just take up the whole track and let everyone else sort of deal with it, and I guess that helped us both.
Yeah. Well, it's been a good result for you there, Gaming, and it's been a brilliant showing today. Definitely some good points for yourself and for the championship. Last week in Bahrain, you finished just outside the points in 11, so you got your first points of the season. So best of luck for Canada next time out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's speak to the teammate of Gaming at Red Bull, that is Fletch. He came out in a satisfying 4th position, it has to be said. Last week, Fletch finished in 6th position, so that's more points for your championship total. And how did you see the race go from your perspective? Because we had 3 safety car periods due to a series of collisions. It was quite endless, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, because I think you had to pit in for a second time, didn't you, under that safeguard code? Because you had the hard tyres on, I think, by mistake, of which you had to pit. Yeah, you had to pit in again the next lap whilst the safety car was out. Luckily, it stayed out for another lap, which gave you the opportunity to come back in and get the soft tyres on. Otherwise, you'd have been very much out of sync with the rest of the field, wouldn't you? Yeah, absolutely. So that takes your points tally to 20, which puts you, I think it puts you in the top 5 of the championship standings. Anyway, but either way, best of luck for Montreal next week, where we, given the nature of the circuit itself, we could see quite a bumpy ride for all the drivers in that. It could be quite as chaotic as Barcelona, but hopefully a more clean one than what we had today. And so very well done on your 4th place position there, Fletch, and best of luck next time out. No problem. Let's have a word with John, shall we? Looking at where you finished in that race, just outside the points in 11th, I'd imagine you'd be quite disappointed with that, actually, because you would have thought you'd have been coming away with some points and all that. Where did it all go wrong for you? Yeah. Still no points after 2 races, but I'm confident that you can definitely bounce back in Montreal and bag your first points of the season. Thank you for speaking to us, John. Let's have a word with Adam. First race time of the season, a step backwards from what it was last week, where you finished on the podium in Bahrain. I don't know where exactly to begin with it, because your race was very much short-lived. Where did it go wrong for you? Yeah. 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 I mean, not every race can be a good one for a driver, and I think it was just one of those days for you, I suppose. But you qualified well, actually, didn't you? Just looking to see where you qualified in all that. You had qualified 4th on the grid, so to not be able to convert that into another point scoring position must be very it must feel really, really bad. It must feel really disappointing, let's say, from your side of it anyway. What can you expect from Montreal in the coming races then? Because given we've had 2 races of this so far, and the drivers sort of learning the ropes of, how to go about one-shot qualifying and to go about the race as well, what could you take from the opening 2 weekends? Well, thank you for speaking to us, Adam, and very thank you as well to all the others who have taken their time to speak to us during the live broadcast. Congratulations to our top 3 of Vengeance, who takes his 2nd win out of 2, with Quinton bagging his first points of the season in 2nd, and Kilmore, his 3rd place moves him up to 2nd in the championship overall. Well, thank you to all of you who have tuned in for today's broadcast, and we can't wait to do it all again in a week's time in Montreal, Canada, 11:30 a.m. British Summer Time. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the PAFR returns.